Hey, hello, everybody. It's 12 noon East Coast time. Carm Capriato, and I think I'm going to call this episode the eye patch episode. I, okay, so that you all understand, you all know what's going on. I had some eye surgery, some macular puckering that I had to get done. The doctor said it was successful, but I won't know today here at 4 p.m. East Coast time when he takes off the patch and he does the big reveal. And I have to tell you something. What a pain in the backside this has been. And I can't wait to get it off. But of course, I hope that I'm going to be able to see, because this is, I have bumped into walls just walking around the house. I just want to let you know what that whole 2-eye dimensional thing is that we need. Good to have you here. The Aftermarket's fastest, most fun 25 minutes, a magazine style show. And we have a couple of special guests here today. We have Greg Buckley, who's going to be with us, and of course the shop tour with Tom Palermo. We're also going to talk about money, something called Off the Beaten Path, how I see it, and a trivia piece. Let's put up that trivia tease, Rick, if you can. So what year did the OBD2 connector become compulsory in America? Now, I know that 90% of all of you know the answer to that. I bet you do. We're going to Tom Palermo's place for tour today. Preferred Automotive in Philadelphia, PA. Tom and his dad, Joe, run this great place. Great accent on fleet. I think we'll probably see some fleet work going on in there, Tom. And there's an example of some fleet work going on in there. So we're going to be with Tom Palermo in about 14 or 15 minutes. Thanks for being here. What we need to do is be sure that you give us a like, a comment, and or a share. It's important. You know what Facebook does is they play around a whole lot with. Yes, there they are. There's my comment. If you're not taking a serious look at this and maybe making a comment, tell us what city that you're in. Facebook recognizes that as, ooh, well, if there's some action going on, let's try to share it. So I always would appreciate anyone doing a share and make us a comment and tell us what city that you're in. Okay. This is going to be repurposed on our website coming up probably later this afternoon, but you can see all the episodes, all the former episodes of Aftermarket Weekly on not only my website, remarkableresults.biz, but on aftermarketweekly.com. Great episode that came up with Patrick McHugh. It came out today in this fun new format that I do, 20 questions in 30 minutes. Patrick and I had an absolute blast, and you've got to hear in the beginning of the episode, he tells the story of how he did not see his family for 45 days because of COVID. And it is a very, very heart-wrenching story. Also, this Friday, we're doing our first ever cookout. My great friend, Chris Delabella, it's going to be in his backyard with his grill, and he's going to be cooking up and sharing with you his recipe on cooking Italian sausage, peppers, and onions. Chris Delabella, Carm Capriato. Can you imagine any other kind of lunch? Because so many of you absolutely use do cookouts for your people. Well, as I said just a few minutes ago, my friend Greg Buckley is here with me. Thank you. Hello, Greg. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Hey, listen, would you mind if I took that name eye patch and really approached Apple with that?
Yeah, I know, eye patch. Yeah.
There's got to be something miraculous under that, the eye patch.
Don't I know a guy named Ron Eye Patch? No, that's not. That's Ron. That's Ron Eye Patch. But so here it is. My doctor's telling me, Carm. I said, well, I should do my pirate episode, arg, because I got the patch. I was going to get a black thing, and he says, you know why pirates wore a patch over their eye? And I says, because the parrot pecked out their eye or something, And he said, no, that's not the case. He said, with the patch over the eye, when they had to go down into the hold of the ship to get, any kind of stuff, all they did is they moved the patch and they could see real quick. And if they were going to fight at night, and then I did some more research on it and found out it takes about 25 minutes for the eye to adjust to nighttime, to darkness.
That's crazy.
And
Never
that's why. So I have a feeling I know what's going to happen when I get my patch off this afternoon. So you're here to talk about money.
money. Everybody, cue up the Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, money. The thing that is about money, and we talk about money, currency, transactions, all that kind of stuff. It's changing big time, and COVID has accentuated that. It sped things up immensely to where what we call contactless transactions are now more. Everybody's more comfortable with it, and from all demographics. And what COVID did was kind of push technology to the forefront for most of us. If we hadn't been using it before to its the best that we can, we certainly are now. So money is one area that will be changing, and if a lot of folks aren't used to contactless, that's like your Apple Pay and using your phone to make transactions with instead of pulling out your wallet or your credit card. It's something that everybody really should be paying attention to and actually starting to utilize it themselves, because it's going to be a game changer in the sense that we're going to have direct pay. And direct pay is one where it goes from a consumer's account, a client's account, directly to your bank. Mm-hmm. And with that option, we not only save fees, we save time, it's private, and it's secure. So I started, and so is the other shops. Some other shops across the country have started using a company and a process called FacePay. Okay. And you can see that's a direct pay mechanism and software that is very easily set up by the shop and by the client. And once that happens, it's an instant connection.
You have a graphic or two to put up. I'm not sure when it would be the right time.
Okay. Well, this is great because right now you can see where the U.S. says U.S. lags in contactless payments, but are expected to emerge slightly higher after the pandemic. So in your major companies across countries across the world here, you're seeing that, before COVID, it's 21% in the U.S., 26% during, and expected to be 29% and higher moving forward after COVID. And that's the adoption of what contactless payments will be like. And in the other countries, in England, and we have Germany and all, you have up to 62% will be reached. And that's just the start of it, where, I think when you get this disruption in the intermediary, which is the merchant services, then you have an instant connection. You can save those fees. So I'm excited about it. I think that's what money will be like. There'll be different definitions of what money is in terms of how you can use it, what it is. I say it's currency. I use that term because I think more broadly of what the transaction is all about. But nonetheless, I see it as a benefit because, if the average shop can save anywhere from 20 to 40, 50% on their yearly fees, why wouldn't we want to try this at a zero cost?
But is the consumer driving this? I mean, really, isn't. And so if we were behind the times, am I right? I mean, as an industry and as a country, that's your point.
Oh, exactly. But as retailers, as service providers, as business people, it comes down to you need to start using this technology for yourself to understand what market you're getting into. Yeah. And so that you can set your team up, you can set your shop equipment up. Now, some guys, some shops, most will have text to pay. Okay, that's a definition of contactless pay. Yeah. When they walk up and they put their phone out and they say, hey, I want to pay with my phone, that's contactless as well. And most of our merchant service and products will handle that through the hardware side of things. However, there's still a ton of fees that come with that. What the next level, direct pay, eliminates a lot of that middleman type scenario. So if you can go from a 2.9 or even a 3.5% take and down to zero, well, boy, goodness, that's a lot of money. So, I just feel that this is the next situation. I do know that, Apple purchased a company in Canada for software. Goldman Sachs released a blurb saying that they're going to put more money into a blockchain solution in order to make more direct payments between client and provider.
So interesting, Greg. Thanks for bringing this to us. I know you're coming back for another segment, but just pointing out to us that we got to get off our butts and do something about contactless payments.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, my friend. We'll, Greg, we'll be back. Should I wear these or not? Or what do you think, everybody? Should I look? Nah, I guess that white patch is there. I can't live without it. Hey, a couple of other things that are going on. A couple of podcasts I want to share with you. If you didn't have a chance to see the 1970s Talking Auto Repair, you have got to see this. This was so much fun. Chris Chesney, Mitch Snyder, Malin Newton, Bob Pulverenti, and Jerry Kazaya. I know Jerry's with us here today on the show. Guys, this was so much fun to listen to these guys talk about carburetors and you name it back then and how life was. So that episode's out there. Also, this past Friday, Rick White, Why Coaching, a really good, intimate, very objective look at the value and the power of coaching. Hey, I want to do something called the Off the Beaten Path. Now, work with me on this, everyone. I know that you have, excuse me, you've played this game before. There is no doubt that you've played this game before by someone coming up to you and saying, join all 9 dots with 4 straight lines without taking the pen off the paper. And you looked at that and you say, let me try this. So you started to work this thing out and you said, this is totally going to become impossible. It forces you to find what you would call your outer limits, but you realize that the outer limits don't exist because you look at that and you say, there's a box I have to be in. So here's the box. With this mindset, you're going to find absolutely no solution, because if you look at this thing and you've played this puzzle before, you realize it can't be down. If we amend the phrase, feel free to use the whole sheet of paper, because we often think that it's all been invented before. There's nothing we can do to stretch ourselves. So if you go to the bottom left corner and you go straight up and off the page, and then down to the right, get the other 2 dots, extend off the paper, come back to the bottom, scoot yourself up to the top and get all 4 lines, pen on paper. It really is one of the quintessential puzzles that says you got to think outside the box. And, I talk so much about breaking the box. Just forget it. Don't let me live within these lines. Let's move ourselves out. I want you to use this old established puzzle to find new possibilities for yourself. This whole thought of mine started because I'm reading this book about the art of possibilities. It's on my web. It's on the books page on the website. And that puzzle appeared in here. And I said, oh my God, I know that puzzle. So I actually did it. And it took me a minute to remember the trick inside the puzzle, but it wasn't that long that I said, wow, I'm so glad I remember that puzzle. And all I have to do to really look for new and different solutions to anything that's going on in my world, and I'm always looking for new and different and exciting solutions, is to think outside the box. So there's my off the beaten path for you. And hopefully that inspired you to think outside the lines. One other thing I did this past week was I did a great Carmcast with Laura, Frank, and Leanne Best, founders of Brakes for Breasts. You can see that on my Carmcast page. We had about 8 shop owners that are participating in this, and of course Dr. Tui, who's getting all the funds. They're so close to closing in on the $1 million mark, 10-year anniversary. Please consider in October that you do this. brakesforbreasts.com. Please go there. What's next? I think we're going to bring Greg back again, and we are going to talk about Greg, what he is calling the new service model post-COVID. So you mean to tell me that you're doing things differently?
Yeah, slightly. COVID kind of, like I said, stretched our boundaries just a bit, and Yeah, Carm, I'll break here for a second, but I got to say that the two topics you talk about, money and then how I see it, and with your eye patch, I just can't help to chuckle a little bit because how can you see it completely with that eye patch? Just me being just off the charts
It's
here.
Greg being Greg.
I can't help it.
Thank God you're a friend and not just a first-time guest.
I know
Golly.
that gives me privilege, right? No.
Well,
So,
all right.
anyway, how COVID's definitely changed the whole game, and a lot of us have developed different ways in client service, and what we're doing. From having in some parts, I said we're having to wear masks, we're having to social distance, we're having to keep our service advisors separated completely. Next is, well, how do I service the client that's locked down or needs to have vehicles done? So we offer a pickup and delivery service. We have more loaner car options that are out there. And next, and again, I segue back to the money section where now we have remote and contactless transactions. So the model, whereas a lot of us grew up with the fact of, I need to shake your hand, I need to see your smile, I need to see you physically in person. We got to develop that relationship. The relationships now are acceptable via virtual.
I know they're acceptable, Greg, but it's not you. You're a people guy.
Oh, absolutely. There's no question.
And as much as this has to be done, isn't there a little bit of I'm missing something or a little pain in the relationship?
I'll be quite honest with you. I do a fair amount of video, and I enjoy it. And I can tell you that is my release. That is how I can promote or get to know you, see you. I put my personality into my marketing, into the videos that I do. Warm, friendly, how are you? And hopefully you will see it in some dimension, in some location, and you will get to know me personally. I may be able to reciprocate that if I see you personally, if I happen to stop in the shop or I see you in the community somewhere. So I have become much more acceptable because of my habits of promoting and being visual and being social in all of my activities.
Greg brought up a great point. I don't think we can't ignore it. I do a lot of video. There's been an awful lot of talk and a lot of internet training and webinars on this. And get out of your comfort zone. Just do one. They don't have to be perfect, right, Greg? And what Greg's point was that I so love is that it may be one way thing. I'm giving myself to them through video. My personality is there because they know who Greg is. You're not getting it back from them, but at least you're covering 50% of the relationship.
Absolutely. And you do get it back. One like, one comment, one something back.
Sure.
Is that acceptable level for me now? It isn't like I have to be the life of a party and with everybody around me, but it does give me my personal release, and it's a satisfaction point. If I didn't have that, it would definitely be a strain because like a lot of us, we are hugs and handshakes and kisses and everything. And I think it'll come back to that once it's more acceptable. So
I think it's going to be sometime in 2021, or at least I hope it is. Mm-hmm. Thank you for how I see it, Greg. Stick around. I'll say goodbye to you at the end of the show. What's coming up now is one of the fun parts of the show that I always look so forward to. My friend Tom Palermo is here. Hello, Tom.
Hey, Carm. How are you?
Great.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay. I'm so excited about this shop tour, Preferred Automotive, Philadelphia, PA. Tom Palermo is Dad Joe. The shop tour is brought to you by Broadly, who helps local auto shops grow through great customer experiences. Broadly attracts and captures leads, help you communicate by text, collect contactless payments, and gathers review. Go to broadly.com. Hey, man, give it over to you, bud.
Can you hear me?
I can. Oh, go ahead.
Are we back?
Us around, man.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. All right. So a little background on this building. It actually started out as a Rambler dealership about 50 or 60 years ago. So that gives you an idea of how old the building is. I'm going to switch cameras here.
50 or 60 years ago.
Yeah.
All
Trying
righty.
to switch cameras. I am.
That's okay. You'll get it. It
There we
works.
go. There we go.
We've already tested this.
Yeah, I
But
know.
I believe
There we go.
you guys got inside this
All right.
building what, a few years back,
Can you hear
right?
me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Can you hear me, Carm?
I can. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, there we
Tom.
go. Good. There you go. We get a little bit of cell reception problem here. So this is our administrative office. We actually took this building. This was a showroom at one point. I'm going to pan around, show you around a little bit. You can see we're big on ASE here.
Yep.
We have a lot of guys with ASE certifications, and we like to display them. Unfortunately, I don't have enough room to put everybody's certifications, so we kind of picked the big ones and put them up there for the customers to see. We have obviously a place for our customers to get refreshments, coffee, tea, hot chocolate, water, juice, all that fun stuff. We do have a workstation for our customers should they decide to stay and do some work. Obviously, we're practicing social distancing with COVID. You can see here is our waiting room. If you look around, you can see all the other COVID stuff. We got the hand sanitizers. There's a very good customer. We got the shields up. That's Jim. That's actually my daughter, Gabby. Say hi, Gabby.
Hi,
and
Gabby.
in keeping with Greg's theme, I'm going to step outside here for a second. We are in a process of getting involved with text to pay, as well as I saw the face pay thing. That's pretty cool. We'll probably get into that. But I recommend that anybody that doesn't have one of these get one. And this is a pickup box for your customers that you can put the keys in, give them a code that you could change, and allow them to go ahead and, you know, pick the car up touchless. Obviously, we have what everybody else has, which is the drop-off box. So I'm going to take you back in. There he is again. Take you into the shop. And
How many bays do you have, Tom?
Well, that's the interesting thing. So this started off, you can see there's 3 doors here on the one side. This building was added onto a couple of times. And the way this kind of started was, you know, it was straight through. The problem is if you had a vehicle in the front or the back that got stuck in the building, you were in trouble. Because if you had something in the middle, you weren't getting it out. So we kind of changed the configuration around. We did lose a lift in the process, but we have a total of about, if you count the area like where this technician is, we got about 13 bays that we can have something in. So, you know, this is our standard 2-post for some of the smaller stuff. You can see there's a police car that had a little trouble. And of course, we tried to, when we came through here, we tried to do some studies with some foot traffic and identify, you know, what the most efficient way to set things up in the bay were. So we found that if we put some of the more common items in multiple places in the shop, it would make it easier for these guys and cut down on them walking back and forth and back and forth.
Yep.
So this is Ashley. She is our service manager. Say hi, Ashley. And we put this desk here in the middle because it gives her an opportunity to be able to look out pretty much on the whole shop. Oops. Thing went wonky there. And be able to see all around. You can see there's another section of the shop here. This, of course, has you know, some of our quick stuff, the Hunter alignment rack, which we're going to be upgrading in the next year or so. We were going to do it this year, but obviously COVID kind of slowed that whole thing down. We're starting to see some ADAS stuff, so we're going to have to get going with that. As you can see, we work on pretty much everything. We work on everything from low-speed electric vehicles all the way up to and including transit buses. There's some of that fleet work you were talking about. This is a 15,000.
Well, does the bus go in that last bay?
So this vehicle, I actually wanted to show you this vehicle because I think it's super cool. This vehicle is a pizza vehicle from a gentleman in New York. It's a CNG vehicle, and the van or the truck, the oven for the pizza, and the generator all run on CNG.
Wow.
So pretty cool, yeah. And unfortunately, unfortunately for him, he called this up and he said, well, I can either go to you or I can go to somebody in Indiana. So you're a lot closer than Indiana. So we ended up with a fleet
because you can work on that fuel.
because we can work on it. Yep, because we work on
Okay.
CNG vehicles. So I'm just going to show you real quick out into the parking lot here. You can see it's pretty big. This property is about an acre. The building's about 9,500 square feet. But you can see if you pan around the parking lot that we work on a lot of different stuff. That's our snowplow for when it gets nasty. I mean, there's a Bentley over there and there's an old F700. So that gives you an eye, you know, that kind of runs the gamut of what we're doing. There's a few other things I wanted to show. How much time do we have, Carm?
I'll give you another minute, my friend.
Minute. All right. I'm going to run through this real quick. I know you like to get these done quick. So one of the biggest problems we had at our other shop was shop tools. We could never find anything, and we were always looking for tools, and they were getting misplaced, and we would buy doubles of them. So we took this room and we created a place for all the shop tools and created a map, kind of like a, you know, an old school library with like a Dewey Decimal System kind of thing. So these guys have access to it. They can look it up and they know right what cabinet and drawer to go to.
Beautiful.
I'm not going to show you the loft because we have a loft that goes all the way upstairs. That's where we house all our chemicals and all that stuff. And you also notice that all the doors are closed. That's because the whole shop is air conditioned. So this is our lunchroom, which unfortunately doesn't get too much use anymore with the current state of things. And this is my office. And I'm going to show you my pet project. I'm kind of an IT nerd. So when I moved in here, I set up this server back and I did all the network.
Oh my God.
So
oh my God, look at that.
That's my baby.
Oh my God. I mean, is that where the internet hooks in? Is that?
Oh yeah, we actually have 2 internet connections here. What's that?
What I'm saying, Tom, is that the internet for all of US? I'm only kidding.
No. No, but when I had a lot of, you know, it was an old building and there was no infrastructure, you know, no technology, no infrastructure here. So I said, you know what, if I'm going to do it, then I'm going to do it. Let me switch my camera back.
Wow, how cool is that? Hey, you know, I don't know about you, Greg, but I don't know. I saw a lot of tech there, huh?
Oh, I'm blown away. But that's Tommy. Tommy is.
I know.
I've known Tom for quite some time now, and the guy is just aces all the way. You know.
I hear you. Hey guys, hang in there with me right now. But I'm gonna let's close this thing out with our trivia graphic. What year did the OBD2 connector become compulsory in America? Well, in 1994. The OBD onboard diagnostics with a built-in 16-pin connector became essential for all car makers to provide key information about the car to make repairs. In 1996, OBD connections became compulsory in America, and in 2001 in Europe. Hey, thanks for so many people hanging out here with us. Seth Thorson, Bob Henderson, Jerry Kazaya, Buckaroo, my friend Mike Allen. Oh, good to see you, Mike. Great to see everybody that was hanging out with us. Look at thanks for bearing with me in the Carm eye patch show here. Let me bring back Greg and Tom and thank them so much. Anyone who would love to give us a shop tour, reach out to me at carm@aftermarketweekly.com. And many of you know, just reach out to me through any of the social media. Any topic you'd love us to cover, please let us know. And if anyone would love to become a sponsor on the show, sponsorships are available too here on aftermarketweekly.com. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Can't tell you how much I appreciate the contributions that you make to the industry. And from then on, I'm on my way to the doctor's office to remove the ARG patch. See yous.
All right. See you guys.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Right.
Bye.